Hey everyone, today we are playing some Mono White Aggro. The goal of the deck is to dominate the board in the first 4 turns and then get in the 20 damage before our opponents can really stabilize and recover. Ideally on turn 1 we play something like Hopeful Initiate or Skrelv into a turn 2 Guardian of New Benalia or Thalia, into a turn 3 Anointed Peacekeeper, Adeline or Steel Seraph, into a turn 4 Phyrexian Vindicator or an Intrepid Adversary kit. There's also a small bit of removal in the form of Laydown Arms, Brutal Cathar and Eiganjo, just the 1 copy of that, and 22 planes. And that's the deck. Will we overwhelm our opponent and shoot up the ladder? Only one way to find out. Let's get into the games. Okay, opponent going first, but we do have a nice smooth curve here. We do run 23 lands, so we're assuming that we'll be able to hit that 3rd land by turn 3. It doesn't really matter if we don't hit our land on turn 4, simply because we do have 2 3-drops here. Yeah, I really count Steel Seraph as, or Seraph, however you want to pronounce it, as a 3-drop. We'll rarely be playing it for its full cost. Looks like we might be up against Selesnya Toxic. That definitely screams Selesnya Toxic. So turn 1 Hopeful Initiate into a turn 2 Thalia will be very good for us. Slaughter Singer, okay. That's very sad. We're not going to block here. We're going to let them get their first point of poison. Unfortunate that we haven't quite hit our land drops. We're not going to attack here. But the fact that their Tyvar stand is going to cost a bit more is pretty good. This screams I've got Tyvar stand. I can replace the Hopeful Initiate, that's not a problem. But the fact that they haven't done anything, which is correct on their part. Bloated Contaminator would be all sorts of bad. Okay, there is a planes. We'll play the Adeline. I'm not going to attack here. I could attack, but then it's a case of, well, I bet they have a Tyvar stand, but they only have colorless mana up. Yeah, I don't want to attack it. As there's a lot that's going into my head. Turn 4, definitely playing Phyrexian Vindicator if we get a land off the top. Yeah, that they have to do. Think if I just do this, I go up to 5 poison, right? Yeah, so if I block here and then that'll force them to use Tyvar stand, but because of the Thalia, they can only Tyvar stand for 1. Tamiyo's Safekeeping is another one, but either way, I think that's the correct block. Yeah. On 6 poison, could really do the Laydown Arms. There's a Crawling Chorus as well. Don't get it. Really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Because the thing is that I can play the... If I got the planes, I could play the Phyrexian Vindicator, Laydown Arms would have been good, Brutal Cathar would have been good. Instead, I think I've just got to play the Steel Seraph. I'm going to give the Thalia Vigilance. Because lifelink doesn't matter for me, really. Down to 10. Let's see. I do need to do some mega blocks here. Steel Seraph, whatever, is 100% blocking. So it's Adeline, so it's Thalia. This is interesting. I have a backup Thalia. So... But I think I do just block here and force them to use whatever they need to use. Okay, we are trading. Blow to Contaminator and Eccentric. Interesting. I run far more removal than they do, and yet it's not really happening for me today. No attacks, we'll pass the turn. I'll go up to 7 poison. At least. Probably more. But if they have 3 things that attach themselves, that would be unfortunate. Everything's attacking, is it? Everything's not attacking. No attacks. Skrelv's Hive, down to 8. There's laydown arms. Intrepid Adversary. If I was to... Oh. Can the Skrelv's Hive... Can they just get themselves killed by Skrelv's Hive? That's the question. And I think the answer's yes. So if I play the laydown arms, just get rid of the rock. I think the rock priest might be the correct call here, because then I'll be on 7 poison. Yeah, I think I just have to get rid of the rock priest. Even though that does feel quite sad. Play this out. Attack with the Vindicator. And pass the turn. They go down to 5. All their stuff is lifelink. But I do have a backup Thalia. So they need to attack if they want to gain any life. Homestead Courage, sure. Oh, that was good. This blocks here, the token blocks here. See what they want to do. Who do they want to save? Save the Intrepid Adversary? Sorry, save the Slaughter Singer? Because I only then have to deal with... They're gaining 7 life, right? So maybe I shouldn't have attacked with the Phyrexian Vindicator. This is a really interesting first game to kick the video off. Yeah, that does not surprise me. Cool, up to 13. There's a second Phyrexian Vindicator. All they've got is a Homestead Courage, right? So I'm just going to play this. No attacks. And pass. Because now I threaten lethal. I do have to block with Thalia here. And they good game it. Ooh, that was a spicy opener. A really spicy opener. The laydown arms came online just in time. I think it's a really interesting line as to whether you take out the Annex Sentry to deal with the Venerated, to bring back Adeline, or you just deal with Venerated Rock Priest. I definitely think it was correct, my line, but boy was it tempting to take out the Annex Sentry and just overwhelm them that way. But they had Homestead Courage, so I would have died. Alright, on to the next one. That was a spicy meatball. We will keep this. Good on the play. Turn 2 Thalia on the play is one of the most powerful plays in Standard right now. Shuts down a lot of what many decks are trying to do. Could be mono red. Looks like mono red. Cool, in which case I will happily play out this Thalia. And if they want to spend a turn using Play with Fire on the Thalia, I am more than happy to let them do that. Okay. Monastery Swift Spear. Another Phoenix chick. Bodar and Epicure. Not a surprise. Down to 16. Cool. We will play the... We could play the Hopeful Initiate and the Guardian of New Benalia. However, I think just Steel Seraph is the correct play. I probably am pronouncing it incorrectly at this point. I'm going to give Thalia lifelink. Everything attacks. Down to 15 for my opponent, up to 18 for me. Next turn, I have access to Skrelv and Guardian of New Benalia, or I play Hopeful Initiate and Guardian of New Benalia, depending entirely on what I see. Nothing. Okay. I'm going to give the Hopeful Initiate lifelink. These are both going to attack. Hopeful Initiate gets another counter. Go to blockers. Go straight to damage. Sure thing. Up to 21. And now you see why I play these things. We'll play the Skrelv. We'll play the Guardian of New Benalia. And we will pass the turn. Another Phoenix check. Sure thing. We will go down to 18. What else could they have at this point? My turn. There's another Thalia. Do I have... I'm just thinking here. I will give the Hopeful Initiate lifelink again. So attack, attack, enlist the Thalia. We'll scry 2. I could do, I don't really need Skrelv, but I could do with another planes. See what they want to do here. Sure, they'll take 6. Go to 3, I'll go up to 21. They need to find a way of dealing 21 damage. And we will end the turn. Yeah, nothing they could do there. The reason why I didn't want to use Skrelv there to give the... Well, in this case, I didn't want to give the Guardian of New Benalia... I didn't want to give Guardian of New Benalia anti-red. I didn't want to discard either card because if it did something with Thalia, I wanted to be able to play Thalia. I had a 4th land coming, so I wanted to play Phyrexian Vindicator, and I wanted to play another Hopeful Initiate as backup, so I don't mind the Guardian of New Benalia dying there. And also, there are more important things for Skrelv to give hexproof from than Guardian of New Benalia. It had done its job. So, yeah, very happy with that. On to the next one. Alright, 2 games so far, 2 wins against 2 decks you'll see quite a lot in the ladder right now, so feeling pretty good. On the draw, Hopeful Initiate into Hopeful Initiate isn't amazing. I'd love to have a turn 2 play to go with the turn 1 Hopeful Initiate, but I'm going to keep. There's plenty of opportunity for us to get into the game. Alright, there's a Skrelv. Argument to play the Skrelv on 1 because there's no good turn 2 play, but I am going to play the Hopeful Initiate instead. Teething Wormlet, okay. Looks like our opponent is on Jund. I will just go and attack here. We'll play the Hopeful Initiate and Skrelv. I'm going to hold on to this laydown arms for as long as I can. Misha's research desk. You know what? I did see a while ago a deck from Sways called, Jund Artifacts or something like that. It involves only Cult Anvil and things like that. So I am familiar with this deck. Very familiar with this deck. So, as I am so familiar with this deck, it's very tempting. I've got quite a few turn 3 plays I can do here. Adeline is immediately super tempting. So I am actually just going to play Adeline. Going to attack with... I'm not going to attack with anything, actually. No attacks and end the turn. I'm going to keep Skrelv up and give... If they try to kill anything, I can make Skrelv give them protection. Teething Wormlet will start to do some nasty things to us if we're not careful. But our opponent just gives up. I don't know what they have in their hand. Of course I don't know what they have in their hand. However, I think that you don't know what's coming up. If I get a land off the top, and it never shows you if you're getting a land off the top, I can go Brutal Cathar, or I can go Steel Seraph to give Adeline flying, so flying and life, flying and vigilance over the top. I'd probably, or Brutal Cathar to get rid of the Teething Wormlet, for example. Skrelv will do some nasty stuff. Yeah, it wasn't looking good, but I would have liked to have seen that game get played out. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so we're going to keep. Again, Intrepid Adversary is not really a turn 2 play in this deck. It's more of a it's more of a turn 4 play. There's Evolve Sleeper, okay. There's a lay down arms. Because we can. I am just going to play the Intrepid Adversary here. If I don't get a land, I'll be very sad. I don't, so I'm just gonna lay down arms this Evolve Sleeper. Sorcery speed, very unfortunate. There's the training. Opponent's not got anything. Really could do with the third land. Hero's Downfall. Okay. It's not happening. Shieldred would just crush us. There's Phyrexian Obliterator. Steel Seraph comes down. Gives a Hopeful Initiate flying. In the F2, put our opponent on 11. We need a fourth land. That go for the throat. There's another Hero's Downfall. Don't get it. Just gonna pass the turn. This is really unfortunate. If they play... Yeah, I'm not gonna block here. If they play a second Phyrexian Obliterator, we're in so much trouble. There's Junji. Okay. There's a land. It's when it dies, right? Okay. End the turn. There's an argument there that we just played the Phyrexian Vindicator. Gix's command. It's not happening. Okay. We are still in this game. Phyrexian Vindicator, come on down. It had to happen eventually, right? They will have another Invoke Despair. They'll have a Lily. You got it.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadow. Off you go.
Yeah. I've seen enough. It is what it is. If we hit our land drops, we're talking a very different game. But we didn't, and that's the reality of Magic the Gathering. Okay, we will go first. We will keep this a very nice hand. We do run 23 lands, by the way, so plenty of opportunity. We have 2 opportunities to draw lands. There we go. We're going to play Thalia. A lot of people are fans of attacking with Skrelv there. I personally will always be in the that's just straight up incorrect camp. There's Bloodtithe Harvester. Okay. I will always be in that camp. There's Adeline. Because by forcing my opponent to have multiple things to deal with my threats, it's a good thing. Like, for example, if my opponent tries to Bloodtithe Harvester, like they're having to Bloodtithe Harvester Skrelv, right? I will pay 2 life anyway to give Adeline protection from black. protection. You know what I mean. Perfect. There is a Phyrexian Vindicator. And good news, everyone. Next turn, we can play Intrepid Adversary. There's Mike Synth Gardens. That can copy an artifact, and usually that's copying an Omnicult Anvil. Usually. Yep. Okay, we are going to play out this Intrepid Adversary. We are going to auto-pay the kicker. They have to cut it down now. Oh, wait. They can't. Yeah, that's mana filtering you need for that. Yeah, I think my opponent was thinking about how they can get out of this, and I'm sure there is. But if they, looking at it, like they'd have to have like go for the throat to Brotherhood's End, and even then, like I think Adeline sticks around. So yeah, it's not looking good. Going first, no turn 2 play, but we do have 3 lands and 2 really good turn 3 plays. So I'm going to keep. The Hopeful Initiate really does benefit from picking up a 2-drop, but we have quite a few in the deck. We have 11 in total that we can play on turn 2. Don't get it, but nonetheless, we will just run it out. There's a Rafine's Tower. This could be Esper. Feels like Esper. I'm going to play out the... Steel Seraph. This is the one I want them to counter. I want Adeline to stay. Yeah. It is 100% Esper control. Okay, let's play Adeline. That one stays. That's annoying. Next turn, I can play both Hopeful Initiate and Skrelv. But the opponent having 2 ways of dealing with this has not been ideal. This is not looking good. Yeah, they have answers. Wow. Okay, that's fine. I am a big fan of Esper midrange, it has to be said. There's Reckoner Bankbuster. Go on then, let's see what you've got. Okay. Okay, opponent. I'm keeping the Brutal Cathar back, by the way. Unless they remove a... Unless they remove a Hopeful Initiate here. Okay. Now I'm playing the Brutal Cathar. Tenacious Underdog. Yeah. Had to at some point, didn't you?
I have got new moves to teach
you. No attacks. It's not really happened. It's okay. Like we had so much time. We had opportunities, and our opponent just had answers for everything. And that's magic. That is just magic, I'm afraid.
them how weak we
There's Thalia. Yeah, I'll take my licks. I'll take my licks. Well done. It's a good deck. I am a big fan of this deck. I 100% recommend that you test this out for yourself. I did go 5 and 4. 3 of those losses were to Mono Black. This deck has an awful matchup against Mono Black. It just has an awful matchup against any removal heavy decks, any targeted removal decks, because eventually they will just remove your stuff, then play their own stuff, and you will end up being super sad. But it was 5 and 1 against the rest of the field. 2-0 against Rakdos, beats Mono Red, beats Selesnya Toxic, beat that interesting Jund deck as well. There's so much you can do with this. I think it's a good deck to climb the ladder with. There's a couple of options you've got here. You could think about playing Ossification if you're looking to play a bit more removal, but if anything, you would probably play something like Ossification over Brutal Cathar, for example, or I don't know about Anointed Peacekeeper. We didn't really get a chance to see it shine. It was slightly unfortunate. You could also play some Mishra's Foundries, but the problem with Mishra's Foundry is that it takes away from the planes count, and we were sometimes struggling, even with one Eiganjo, to consistently lay down arms what we needed. The lands is an interesting one. When you can curve out quite smoothly, you win. If you stutter, so you miss your land drops, or you get too many lands, it's much harder to stay in the game than it is with other decks. Of course, all decks struggle with the idea of not playing a land every turn or having too many lands, but some decks deal with it better than others. This is not really the deck for it. But if you're looking for something that has the ability to consistently put opponents under pressure, this could be the deck for you. If you see too much Mono Black in your matchups, maybe don't play this deck. But everything else, I think it's more than fair game. But thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more Magic the Gathering content, why don't you check out this Mono Red Burn list that I've been running recently and have been having a lot of fun playing. Spoilers, yes, it does play Mechanized Warfare. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye-bye!